They have 5 or 6 locations in Oregon and maybe even Washington, I'm not sure. But if you want to have great seafood, be sure to go to Moe's. I've been traveling for several days. It's been quite an adventure. I have some friends with me, so things are changing a little bit. As long as my friends are with me, we have to find a van place plus a place to put a tent, and that's always quite a challenge. When you're used to boondocking, which I am used to doing, and not paying any fees, we've kind of gone to a point where we're having to pay some fees on some nights. We're still able to find boondocking places most nights in which we pay no fees. But once in a while, when you get into the more congested areas, Astoria is fairly congested and a lot of private land, then you have to pay some fees. I'm not really excited about paying the fees, but that's just how it has to be. So I'm kind of new to this live streaming. I hope it's working. I bet it's buffering like hell because I'm so far out of town. But if it's not buffering, then I have a lot to be grateful for. It's just amazing what technology can do today, and I'm really, really surprised. So I don't see anything coming through. It doesn't look like I'm getting any followers. Maybe you're there, but we always get kind of a late notice that you're there. So that's a pretty rough thing. But I appreciate those who are watching or who will watch in the future. It means a lot to me. I can't tell you what it means when you're a nomad and you don't have a lot of personal connections because you're always on the road and you make a connection via the internet. It just means everything to hear from people. I'm starting to hear from the same people, and it really means a lot to me. I'm starting to make friendships online. And hopefully, some of those friendships will turn into better friendships, maybe some in person. My friend Gus and a Bus has had a van meet on occasion, and so maybe I'll be able to do that one day. And we have a message come. John Chalker's there. Well, what a great guy. John is very popular on many of the boards, and I always watch for his messages. It means a lot. The same people, time and time again. It means a lot to have the same people chime in, and it's just a real honor. I have had a great trip so far. I left Denver, Colorado. We drove all night long until 2 in the morning. Then we got to Rock Springs, and everybody's just exhausted. So we found a road, we pulled over, we pitched a tent. We didn't pay any fees, and I was expecting the State Patrol to be rapping on my window the next day. Well, nothing happened. That one worked out well. The next night we spent kind of north of Pinedale, and in the same situation, we didn't have to pay any fees. In fact, we found a spectacular spot north of Pinedale, just south of the Grand Teton National Forest. And then the next night, we spent at one of my favorite campgrounds, and it's a free campground. It's called Henry's Lake in Idaho. And so it was a lot. I had to pay any fees to that date. Then we left there and we went to Missoula, Montana to the hot spring. And the hot spring was awesome. And it's again free parking. My friends pitched their tent and we were able to soak all night. It's just a magical, magical place. Let's see, I got another note from somebody. Oh, John. Cool, John. Yes, I am the father of a new Bengal cat, and I'm very proud of that Bengal. Unfortunately, I decided not to bring her on this trip. I took her to the mountains, to Breckenridge, Colorado, and she did okay on the trip, but she sure was bitching. She got away from me 2 times in a 2 hour trip. It's a 2 hour trip going and 2 hour trip coming. She got away from me 2 times. So I decided that I was not going to bring her on this long 3 week trip, that I need to acclimate her a little better to camping. And I think that'll happen over time, but I do need to let it happen. My light's going out, so it's going to be a little hard to see me. There we go again. I don't know how long that's going to last. So I was talking about how nice it is to have so many online friends, and one day I'd like to meet every one of you guys. I think it's such a neat thing. When I was a kid, we didn't have computers for sure, and we didn't have the internet and Facebook and YouTube, and all these things were just weren't even dreams. People couldn't even conceive of having this kind of communication. And here I am sitting in the middle of nowhere, north of Astoria, Oregon, at a little campground, and I'm having a live conversation with many of you. It's just an amazing, amazing thing. And it would be fun if I could live another 100 years and see what things are going to look like in 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Something new is bound to come up. Uh, we have Camp Goer 1 on the line. And boy, there are so many of you guys I really, really appreciate it. How do I look in these crazy glasses? I think if I'd looked at the darn things, I never would have bought them. But I've had them for several years now, and I'm kind of stuck with them until at least the next eye exam rolls around and I save some money and am able to acquire a next set of glasses. But I'm blind as a bat without them, I'll tell you. You got to have glasses to see at my age, and I used to never wear glasses, but I have to wear them all the time. Well, guys, it's really an honor to be here, and it's really an honor to have you guys on the side watching me and supporting me. It's really, yeah, as long as you work. uh, that's all that counts, you know. And so many things I'm finding in life, you have to be willing to make some sacrifices, and you get things to work, and then you're pretty happy with life. Things don't have to be perfect. And I'm traveling with two young people who are having to learn this one, you know. It's hard to teach young people things because their expectations are so high. They've had so many things in their lives, and learning what van life is all about and the sacrifices that you have to make when you're on the road is really difficult. It's not an easy lifestyle at all. A lot of us, I don't want to say bad things about anyone, but a lot of us like to paint this as a very rosy picture, and all you have to do is go out and turn the switch and drive up into the mountains or into the desert, and you can live free and life is perfect. This is a hard life. It's a real hard life because you don't have any space. You don't have all the things that you would have if you were home. Um, I'm not sure if I'm going to go to Arizona or not. There are so many people in Arizona. I'm not a real fan of Arizona. It's okay, but I have such spectacular places to go, like Oregon and California, Colorado. Arizona in the winter might be okay. Arizona in the summer, ooh, hot, 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 hot. And I have found some just magical places in Arizona. I love the desert, but I also love the mountains, and I love the ocean, and I love all of nature. And my glasses are caught in my hair. John is talking to us, and unfortunately, the note went by. They don't stay on my screen, so I'm not able to read them, guys. I'm really, really sorry. I'd like to reply to every note. I'm going to have to really pull those to get those off my hair. uh, so I'm missing some of your notes, and please forgive me. For you guys, they probably stay up and you can read the stream. For me, I get about 3 seconds for each note. So send the note again and I'll respond to it. I was talking about what a great honor it is to have people that are with me. I feel like you guys are sitting right across the room from me, and I'm not here all by myself. Well, I'm actually not here by myself anyway. I've got my friends in their tent very close. But it's nice to have people that tune in and they give your comments. And generally, almost all the comments on my stream have been very positive and very friendly. I do have one guy who puts up some really nasty, nasty things, and I just ignore him. You know, what am I supposed to do with a guy who's really negative and talks about fecal things, and the comment comes up and comes up and comes up, and I don't know what to do with that person. I don't want to boot him off my live feed. I don't want to be that kind of guy, but the discussion is so nasty. Um, let's see, it's not, yes, exactly. It's not all, John says, it's not all a bed of roses. Life isn't always perfect when you're out here. And you have to be willing to roll with the punches, and you have to be willing to live a simpler life. I got in my life, everything was so complicated, and I had to have the latest car, and I had to have the big house, and I had to have all the things in life. And I decided that I was working so hard to have all those things. I was miserable, just miserable. And I thought, well, there's got to be a better way to do this. And maybe this is too extreme. Maybe I need to find something that's more comfortable, a little apartment or a little condominium somewhere, and settle down and just enjoy life. But uh, I love to travel and I love to see new places. I love to meet people. I get such a kick out of meeting people and seeing what their reactions are. And uh, I would really miss that if I settled down in one place for a long period of time. I kind of got stuck in Denver for a while. I had some health issues and I had to see the doctors. And I was waiting to see the doctor and getting certain tests done. And so I couldn't go out. And I just felt like I was so trapped. It was so difficult for me. Yeah, Mr. Nasty needs to be blocked. I guess I could do that. I, I'm one of those guys. I've spent a lot of my life helping people have a voice and people who've never had a voice. And so for me, it's very difficult to block people because how do you block somebody when your whole philosophy in life is that you should allow people to open their mouths and say what they think, and even they don't have to agree with you? You know, not everybody's going to agree with you. I disagree with a lot of people. I'm a very liberal person. I'm a very open person to different lifestyles and people's choices in life, and it's hard for me to say to someone else you shouldn't have any words. But this guy, he comes onto my channel and he asks me where I'm going to poop, and am I going to poop in a bucket, and am I going to join Bon Boils, and such a nasty discussion that guy's having with me. And I finally said, you know what? I'm going to go poop in your house. That's where I'm going to poop. Why do you ask me these stupid questions? Uh, I don't want to be rude about it, but geez, come on, dude. Don't you have anything else in life to talk about besides where we eliminate our waste? It's just disgusting. But maybe John's right. Maybe I need to just block the guy and tell him to go find some other place to vent his filth. I just don't understand people sometimes. What I'm learning is that when you open your heart and you try to help people, good things happen. And when you do, uh, yeah, well, you're right, Judy. Disagreeing is one thing, and being nasty and talking about our waste products just as a way to put us down, as if he doesn't have his own waste products to deal with. Maybe he lives in a house and he doesn't have to worry about disposal of his waste. I think disposing of your waste in a van is a great practice to realize what a mess you're making, and that mess goes somewhere. It goes down a sewer somewhere, and it makes a bigger mess down line of you. And when you have to deal with it on a personal basis, and you put it all in a bag and you figure out where to dispose of it, you learn a lot about human waste, and you learn about the impact that we're having as people on our environment. So well, really, John was suggesting that I elect some people moderators, and I think maybe I might just do that. That's really a good thought. I hadn't thought about that, but I think it would be great if I had some people kind of looking in and maybe giving me some advice also on the way to resolve these. As I was saying earlier, I hate to ban people because I'm a free speech guy. I say a lot of things that people don't like, and I think I should have the right to say those things. And I disagree with people, and I hate to tell other people they can't be disagreeable. But geez, do they have to talk about those kinds of things, those personal things that really no one in polite society should talk about unless you have a good reason. Bob Wells, for example, explains the whole process. This is how you do this. And I think there's a good reason for it. But you don't have to leave those kinds of dirty comments on my live feed, dude. Go find someone else to harass. If your life is that bad, I'm really sorry for you. I wish you the best of luck, and I wish everybody the best of luck. Not everybody is going to agree with me, and not everybody is going to be on my side, and not everybody is going to enjoy the lifestyle. And some people really oppose me, but that's okay. You have your right to your point of view. It's when we start curtailing points of view and saying you can't have that point of view that I think that we have troubles. And what I want to do is make sure everybody has a point of view. But geez, do we have to talk about eliminating our own waste, and what do we do with it, and do we bag it up, and do we throw it? It's a good topic for people who need the information, but it's not a good topic when it's being used to put people down, and that's exactly what that guy's doing. So I'm gonna take John's advice. I'm gonna appoint some of you guys to be my moderators because I think you guys will do a great job, and you kind of know what's going on. Well, guys, it's getting pretty late here in Oregon, and I want to thank you all for tuning in. And I will be looking for some moderators. I think John would be a great choice. And if you have your chance to come out, please come out and do this van life. It's a wonderful way of living. Or if you're planning on it, tell me about what your plans are. I'd love to hear what your plans are. And hell, I'm not the expert. Bob Wells is the expert for me, and learning a lot from it. And wow, 12:30 a.m. East Coast. It's earlier here on the West Coast, but it's getting pretty late. Well, guys, I want to thank all of you. Okay, well, thank you, Camper Goer. I really appreciate it, and John. I will be in touch with you guys shortly, and I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. Now, how do you turn this thing off? Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Be well, Camper Goer 1, and Karen and John. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you all soon. Bye.